horror genre has undergone a renaissance as of late. Whether the films be commercially successful or more geared towards art house fare, movies that make you fear the bump in the night have been of the highest quality I've seen them in the last few decades. This is true of Hereditary as well. Hereditary, the debut feature film written and directed by Ari Aster, is among one of the most disturbing movie experiences I have ever witnessed. Due to a combination of eerie storytelling, great performances, haunting cinematography, and themes involving mental health and the well-being of family members, this film makes you sick in the stomach while force-feeding you food for thought. And I mean that as a compliment, goddammit. Hereditary is about how family members inherit the bullshit of their ancestors. The plot follows Annie, her husband Gabriel, her son Peter, and her daughter Charlie, who are all processing the death of the family matriarch. During the grieving process, it soon becomes apparent that Granny had some really bizarre skeletons in her closet, which caused the family to become terrorized by spirits or some form of entity or another, which is then the causation for the family descending into madness. Hereditary is as unnerving as a chef who doesn't wash their hands. The narrative and character development are told to the audience in a way that allows a sense of dread to permeate throughout the entire picture. Despite being a tale where the monsters are real rather than imaginary, the movie plays psychological mind games where the rattled characters reflect an audience who is shook. The great performances truly sell this bizarre tale. Praise must be given all around to the actors portraying a family whose mental states and relationships are deteriorating faster than Nazi flesh in front of the Ark of the Covenant. The horror cast displays different types of madness that make them unique in terms of character development, such as how Charlie is disturbed, Peter is tormented, Gabriel is skeptical, and Annie is past the breaking point where her sanity goes completely off the rails. In fact, Toni Collette's Oscar-worthy lead performance as Annie stands out in particular. She conveys the grief-stricken mad artist so convincingly that I got chills. Collette displays disparate emotions such as pain, love, anger, sorrow, and guilt, often within the same scene. And while these different ranges of intense feelings may sound eclectic to the point of melodrama, Collette truly does own this role. The haunting and beautiful cinematography only enhance the horror on screen. While the film conveys some beautiful sets and views that look pleasing to the eye, the movie is lit and shot in a way that forces the audience to feel off kilter. The shot selection in particular is terrific because the angles are often displayed in a way that makes the film feel detached, as if the audience is coldly observing the family go insane. Additionally, the film is framed in a way where it makes the characters feel as if they are out of control or even being manipulated, which just adds to the creepy factor. The stunning cinematography as well as the great performances visually show off how deep this film is thematically. For example, the movie is definitely about how we inherit all the problems of our parents or even ancestors from our lineage down. This can mean family heirlooms, religion, culture, but most importantly in terms of this movie, illness and mental illness in particular. And speaking as a person with a mental illness, the movie is very effective at conveying how these types of maladies can take a toll on a person and their respective families. So in this sense, it is very relatable. Admittedly, the film does contain a few faults. Some of the visuals occasionally veer into a sort of cheesy territory. It's rare, but it happens. But more importantly, there's also this one auditory gag that I knew would be referenced again in a scary context, because the art house style horror films these days usually always have some form of scary audio gag, but it was really predictable this time. With that said, Hereditary is sufficiently horrifying to watch and is among the most disturbing movies I have seen in a long time. It's, and I mean this in the best way possible, once again, goddammit, a very unpleasant experience, and one that is worth repeat viewings in the future. The film is sold by the performances of the core cast, Collette especially, and the visuals are striking in both a haunting way and an oddly kind of beautiful way. It really does need to be seen. If you are a fan of art house horror films such as The Witch, It Follows, Babadook, or anything else kind of like that, you owe it to yourself to see this one. See you next time.